Hi, welcome to the KaiNexus Continuous Improvement Podcast. I'm Mark Graban, a senior advisor with KaiNexus, and we're joined today by Greg Jacobson, one of our co-founders and our CEO. Greg, how are you doing today?
Great. I'm excited about our topic today. It's one of the most fun things we do at KaiNexus every year, and so it's going to be fun to riff on it a little bit and tell people why I think it adds a tremendous amount of value.
Yeah, so we'll come back to that in a couple of minutes. What Greg's referring to is KaiNexicon. This year is our 9th annual user conference, and we'll come back. We'll be talking about that more. But Greg, I wanted to ask maybe just the extended version of the how are you question. How's 2025 getting started for you and for the team at KaiNexus?
Well, it feels like it just started, even though we're already 6 weeks in. When you work at a company that's sub 50 people, and we're in the low 40s right now, it feels like there's always so little slack in the system, and so the process of closing out a year and starting a year is it just kind of adds to the work you already do, and so I feel like we're kind of most of that's in the rear view now. So I think we've set our goals and forecasts and closed out the prior year. Really excited about last year, and I think that with the general tone in the software as a service industry is that 2025 is going to be a better year financially than 2024 was. And we've always been a bootstrapped company that I think has sound business practices. So we're less affected by the market in general. But it's always nice to know that people think that there's going to be tailwinds instead of headwinds to have to go through. So I'm looking forward to 2025 in short.
Yeah, well, good. Well, hopefully the last 46 weeks of the year have a lot in store. And like you mentioned, one of those highlights for you, for me, for a lot of people is the opportunity to get together in person with KaiNexians, those of us who are not in Austin full time, and I'll say more importantly, to get together with our customers. It's all it's all important. It's all good. But again, KaiNexicon is what we call our annual user conference. This year, it's being held a little earlier than last year, April 29th to May 1st. It's in downtown Austin, so that's always a fun place to come and visit. The weather is getting good that time of year, so if you haven't already signed up, you can learn more at KaiNexus.com/KaiNexicon. I'm going to be speaking again this year. I always enjoy interacting with people and being part of the event. Why would you say it's? What are your thoughts on it? Even just personally, Greg. Not even why is it important to the company? Why is this so meaningful to you?
Well, it's interesting. We've been running this user. It's a user conference, so I think that's important to know. There will be a handful of folks that are in the process of getting started with KaiNexus. That maybe the paperwork hasn't been all finalized, but they're in those later stages of the sales cycle. But 90+%, 95% of folks at KaiNexicon are KaiNexus customers, and it's a really amazing thing. I mean, we decided to host it when we were, probably 10% of the size that we are today, maybe 20%, and we didn't have any experience hosting conferences. And what's been amazing, Mark, is the amount of times people say that KaiNexus or KaiNexicon is the best conference that they go to in a year or that they've ever been to. From how it's run and from the value that they created. And what's interesting is, you want to know how we got to that point, Mark?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
We used checklists, and we took people's feedback that came to the conference, and every year we update our checklists and we build on it and we incorporate new feedback. And it's surprising, to continuous improvement people, and I'm saying a little tongue in cheek, we managed to make it just a little bit better every year. And that kind of compounding interest has been pretty awesome to see in KaiNexicon.
Yeah, we that's certainly what I've observed and been part of. There's opportunities for everyone on the team, everyone attending the conference to make suggestions, to give input, and to toot our KaiNexus horn a bit. We manage that through our KaiNexus platform. Yep. And, we capture those ideas, we talk about them, we set reminders as we get into the planning cycle for the next year. I think one of the great benefits is we don't forget about these ideas. Like some organizations that do this, they want to improve their event every year, but they might do it more casually. They might get to the week before the event and go like, "Oh, we forgot those 4 things from last year." Or like, I think we're, it's a team effort, and there's a disciplined use of our platform to prompt us to evaluate those ideas, and some get accepted, some get deferred. Sometimes I've made suggestions, and the answer is, well, we don't have the budget for that, and I understand, right? Yeah. We can't do it all, and we want clever, creative ideas, using our creativity before capital. I think there's something to be said for that. We do our best to be a continuous improvement culture. I think KaiNexus does a good job of that, actually.
One of the things that's really exciting for us is that from a concentration perspective, that 2 to 3 day period, we get more interactions from more of our customers. And so for sometimes like the product and the development and, testers and, the back office folks that don't really have a chance to engage with our customers, it's an opportunity for them. So it's a huge amount of energy. It takes a lot of energy to put on, but at the end, you always are more excited than when you came in. Yeah. And I think that's what we consistently hear from our customers. Our customers say when they come that they get so much value out of those couple of days that it's probably kind of pound for pound, if you will, the most efficient way to leverage their investment in KaiNexus. There's, informal situations. We create some lunch tables of different industry customers all getting together. The one that comes to mind is healthcare. This is pretty amazing. You have a group that includes people like UMass Memorial, Cleveland Clinic, Mayo Clinic, Barnes Jewish, UC Davis, just to name a few, that are all having lunch together and talking about the challenges of doing. Mark, developing a culture of continuous improvement, it's hard work, right? Right. If it wasn't, everyone would just have it. It would be a no-brainer. And so being able to share on the challenges and the successes and, cross-pollinate ideas is really amazing. Another thing that we always hear back is the speed dating. I think we call it Speed Nexus.
Nexus, right?
Where the where we set this situation up where like every 5 minutes you're meeting a new KaiNexus customer. They're sharing something that's interesting that they use the platform to do, and then you're sharing something, and you walk away from that session with 20, 30 ideas to take back to your team to go through to see if it's something that you should be incorporating. So it's a lot of fun, and it's a different kind of conference than a typical lean conference, but we also cover some typical lean concepts as well. There's a nice blend between kind of product and customer, and also just some core lean concepts.
Yeah. Well, I think of the different pillars of what makes this work for our customers. It's having improvement methodology. So we talk about that. It's the management, and it's the technology. And for our customers, that's KaiNexus. It goes hand in hand. And yeah, you're right. There's a balance. I'm not up there talking about the product or the technology as much as I love what we do. I'm usually talking about some of the improvement methodologies or the management mindsets. And there's a good allocation of time to all those topics. And I'm always impressed with Speed Nexus. I was going to bring that up. That this is not the type of event where you sit there passively for the whole time. There's interactive sessions, and the only other thing I was going to add to what you said was the sharing within an industry is powerful, but then we see people talking across industries. We see somebody from a great manufacturing company chatting with the team from UMass Memorial and say, well, how did you capture and implement and document more than 100,000 employee ideas? The things that a UMass Memorial health system has done are things that others can do, and the UMass people, for example, are there to learn from others as they've been doing, throughout their journey. So yeah, it's really, really powerful to have all of that experience and passion and sharing taking place. I love it every year.
I'm glad you mentioned the cross-pollination of ideas and best practices. We literally last week I was on with a customer, and they said, "Oh, what are other people doing in?" And it was a very specific department of the finance department, but like a and I think what I'm reminded of is the stories that you hear when you're learning about lean. You can't go to Toyota and just copy and paste into your organization, right? You can go to Toyota and learn the concepts behind the tools and the tactics that they use, and then you can say, okay, well, how does that apply to my company, my industry, my department, my team? And then you can get a really excellent manifestation of what should lean or continuous improvement look like in your organization. And so when you start realizing that you're not copying and pasting, even within industry, right? Even if you are a car manufacturer, you can still not go to Toyota and then just copy and paste. I think that you could probably give many examples of where that's failed in American companies. Yeah. But you can understand what are some of the human psyche components, and what are some of the core issues that a project management workflow or process should include, or a employee engagement ideas or issues should include. And once you get to the level of the people and to the level of the concepts behind it, well, then they're applicable to every industry, because guess what? Every industry uses the same species, humans, to run their business. And so at the fundamental core, all businesses are, they need, there's going to be revenue, there's going to be expenses, and there's going to be people. Once you start realizing that it's those three things that are going to be at the core of every topic you talk about, you can start to see, wow, I'm a healthcare company, but it's really interesting to be sitting down with a financial services company and seeing how they're addressing things, or any other kind of, there's going to be, obviously healthcare, lots of manufacturing. There's going to be financial services. There's going to be food industry there. There's just, there probably isn't an industry that we don't have customers in. And so it's really cool when you keep peeling the layers of the onion back. It's all the same thing at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, let's end on that note. That's well said, Greg. So, that opportunities to have conversations with Greg. You can talk about continuous improvement and habit loop.
I should say, Mark, we always give a sneak peek to things that are coming out in the platform. As you know, I'm a very product focused CEO, and so I love working on all the new things that we're working on. So that's another topic we didn't even mention. So.
Do you want to dig into that a little bit, or?
Yeah, no, it's just there's going to be, we do several different product presentations. I think Mark said it well, that it's not exclusively focused on product. We really believe that it's the management or the leadership behaviors and the improvement methodology. Once that gets combined with the right technology, that's where the magic happens. And so probably 20 to 30% of the conference is going to be looking at, maybe 35% of the conference will be looking at, how can you leverage the current functionality, but then what were things that we released in the last year that you may not realize? And then, of course, we do sneak peeks on things that we're working on. And it's the only time we ever do that in any meaningful way. So that's one of my favorite sessions always. So.
All right. Well, again, I think lots of great reasons to come to KaiNexicon. Please come join us April 29th to May 1st in Austin. You can learn more on the schedule and some of the speakers and and that structure. You can learn about how that's taking shape at KaiNexus.com/KaiNexicon. There'll be a link in the show notes. And if you have any questions about that, you can reach out to your contacts at KaiNexus. We'd love to answer any questions that you have, and hope to get you there. If you're already coming, thank you in advance. We're looking forward to it. Well, Greg, thanks for doing the podcast today. I'll let you close things out.
Well, thank you, Mark, and I always appreciate talking with you. It's funny, every time we talk, I feel like I come up with some realization that our prior conversations have allowed us to come up with, and so I think this even though it was a short conversation, was no different. So I'll end this with. There's no better day than today to either improve your continuous improvement efforts, start your continuous improvement efforts, and we will see you next time.